When I need you the most, you always know. When I need you the most, you know.
kind of just want to jam out. I don't even want to, like, you know what I mean? Like, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here at the Crypto Lover Show, baby. Let's go. Can you feel the vibes? Can you feel the energy? Can you feel the heat? I can. I don't know if you can. Bitcoin, 76,800. Got everybody squirmish. These are great prices as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, these are amazing prices. Uh-oh, he's on the coffee today, folks. You know what kind of show it's going to be. Shout out to everybody here this morning. I took a scalp. I won one. I lost one. I'm a bit above break even, but not amazingly. But it was, I fought off the bears all morning. I did the best I could, and then we got a little bit of a dump easy to the downside. As you can see there, I keep money on weeks, and there's my win right there, $543. A nice little scalp in at 77.2 out at 77.630 for Bitcoin. Nice little scalp for Bitcoin. And now here we are. But we've now lost. Then I set up basically I wanted to see this make a flag on the 5-minute or the 1-minute time frame. We never got the flag, so there's really no chance to get in. But, I basically looked for this to kind of make a bounce and get sideways. Right now, that's a bearish sign, and it looks like we're going to go lower. So they faked the breakout, nailed anyone that went short, and tried to put a stop loss too close to the bone. And now it looks like they may just get this thing ready to dump. So, like, it pumped, and now it just may be ready to dump. We may have to just saddle right into a short right off the bat. And let's talk about it. I mean, is Bitcoin collapsing down to 40,000? Is this the big one? It could be. I mean, the thing is, certain things had to happen for Bitcoin to stay bullish. And again, that's why I always tell you, I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I know not a clue. I did have a feeling, like a 90% feeling that Bitcoin has bottomed near 60K, but we may revisit 60,000, 68, 65. We may not go as low as 54,000, but you never know. What's the word? Stack McChange in the house. Boondock Saint in the house. My man, the Blues guy, holding me down. And Rave Song Records. We got a whole blue crew. Sean plays. We got the whole blue crew out here, folks. Do not mess with the blue crew. All right? No, seriously, they're the bomb. They're super loyal. Best crew in the game. Shout out to all the lifers here on the live stream. Shout out to everyone here watching on X. We love you. We appreciate you. We know that's your spot. You're not going to leave, so we like to reach you guys out there. It just is what it is. But shout out to my YouTube family. We love you all. Thank you for jumping on in. Crazy price action. It always is on a Monday. They pump. So last night, they go sideways. They pump it in the middle of the night to the upside, or this morning, really, right? I'm in a short last night. We're in the money in the short. Nicely all night, really. As I wake up, I'm still in the money, but I see it go from like 300 to 200 to 100. And then I get out with like a $55 win, which is, at least I didn't lose, which, hey, 95% of people lost. I did not, right? I was able to take advantage of at least a move there. And, but, it is what it is, right? And then today I battled the markets and came out with maybe $100. So I could have just stopped while I was ahead. I sold that local top right there. My model played out on the 1-minute time frame. I woke up and the first thing I saw was this. I took this trade right here. I got in right around there. I was up, then I was break even, then I was up. Then I was up more, then I was basically back to break even again after you know what I mean? Then I was up huge. And then as this started to go, after going through all this, when we ripped up in here, I got out in this red candle. And then I saw the extra pump and I was like, huh? And then it came down. Then I started the show, got things ready. Then I went and put on my suit and tie. And, as in the last 5 minutes, we've seen this kind of nasty downward price action here with the rejection of the 200 moving average. Similar to what the daily did, right? You get rejected by the 200. It's kind of like a bearish retest here. I want to zoom out a little bit and see what's happening. I'm here live on Weeks. You can see I can do all my live trading right here. It's beautiful. Live on Weeks. It's amazing. But look, the rejection of the 200 on the daily, and this just looks like more downside on the bigger time frame. You see what I'm saying? Beautiful right shoulder, tweezer top, short right there with the rejection of the 200 moving average. And you can see that's why I sold my last long really right about there. I have not been, at that point, you could tell when the market gives you, this is what I was looking for. Remember, I was like, let's see if we can get this right here. And I was looking for this, and I got stopped out like right around there. We ended up taking the short down, right? Then I'm telling you that it's likely we're going to go down, and I was short here. We ended up going down. Then I was short down here. They made this crazy move, and now we're really like right back in the spot. And to me, it's just, you have to act like you left the pattern, broke back inside. Dang, I want to kind of, oh my gosh, they didn't give me a chance to jump on in. Just dropped it 200 quick beans. And that's the breakout right there. Now I feel like I'm chasing. But yeah, it looks like Bitcoin's going to let go here to the downside. So I haven't been bullish since, the 4 hour once the 1 hour loses the 200, I get cautious. Once we regained it, I was bullish, you know what I mean? And you could lose it a little bit, but we kept gaining it. We kept using it as support here, you can see. So you get above the 200 on the one, that's when I started being bullish, if you can see this. And we ran this rally. We did very well. Shout out to everyone that ran this up with me. From the beginning of April all the way up. I mean, we did a great job. We took many along, now it's shifting. Right now we can see that there's a clear shift, a trend shift, and that's what a head and shoulder pattern. Look, shoulder, head, right shoulder, shifted patterns. You've seen me shorting now, and you're like, damn, Sam's shorting the market. I don't remember when Sam shorts, and Sam does what Sam's got to do. Why am I talking in the third person? George likes Kung Pao. George is angry. George is very angry. No, but see, there you go. Just like the old times. Just like the real show. There's some glasses in that, they're so delicate. You got to keep a spoon in them when you pour hot stuff in them, and it will keep the glass from breaking. So you pour hot stuff in there, and it might break if it's been sitting on the shelf in like a cool day inside, like a New England kitchen. You all know about that if you're from the Northeast or even just the Minnesotas. Shout out to Marcus in the house, another blue crew. Good morning. And shout out to everyone, even if you're not blue, the Golden God, Gensler, Maho. I don't want to, divide and conquer us. We're the best, man. The lifers, whether you're blue, green, or white. Look, you're blue, green, or white. No, we don't, we don't discriminate on the color of your name here. Sam hates pants. Dude, if you had to wear pants every day, imagine a life like that. Imagine a life like that. I am in a dolphin Speedo. No, I'm sitting in pants. I'm wearing pants right now. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. The show that keeps on going. All right, kite up 11%. I love it. No soup for you. And look at this crazy move now. This is Monday. I usually let Monday do whatever it wants, and then I come back to it. When you chase Monday crazy moves, it can hurt. And Monday can be a very hard day. And I've had many a lesson on a Monday. And to be honest, this was pumping last night. It was doing well. Remember on the stream? Came back down. Would have stop hunted anybody that went below resistance. Lately, I realized you have to kind of if you want to trade anything, you have to envelop it. Meaning you have to do a bigger trade over the smaller trade. Let them clear everybody out. And you have to be super patient. Trading's different than it used to be. The same strategies work, but you have to just you have to be willing to risk more, and you have to be more humble. There's way too many new people here that trading is, think about it, the internet's bigger than it ever was. And trading's on the internet, and you can learn how to trade now, YouTube and all this stuff, right? So when I started, it was barely, it was really hard to access information. It wasn't as easy. We're talking 08, 09, right? I mean, it wasn't like you didn't have a bunch of guys like me yapping all day, right? Now there's a lot of, not too many. I still think, live traders really that are really doing it. I think there's 100, and that's real live traders that are really, and that's from Forex to many, because there's a bunch of people, but they don't do it live, they don't do it live and all that. Anyway, point is, there wasn't this information. Now there's way more. So because of that, I just feel like there's more people that are doing the same type of stuff. Like for instance, this trade, they may stop everyone out here, But if you're deep down here and you're going for a bigger 3-to-1, there's a chance you don't get stopped out if you're down here, But if you're in here, there's a chance they just snap everybody right here, right? So kind of a similar idea. But oil does look like it could coil. It continued to the upside. And I just put alerts on this. When it hits my alert, it'll let me know what's happening with oil, all right? And this is how you kind of can keep a track of the market, keep a track of everything around you. You got to use alerts. If you're not using alerts, there's no way you could keep up with the lifers, man. The hardest part of Grandma's dementia was slowly watching her forget about, oh, man, come on, bro. Are you serious? I don't know if I guess, you know what? I got to open up and be a little light today. Thank you, Charlie, for the joke, man. People that are going through that, I mean, my friend's dad's going through that. It's tough. Half the live traders are from India, only they're a little in England. And now we're going to show you how to trade the Bitcoin. We're going long here, offer support and resistance. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. That's rude, right? Is that rude? Is what I did just rude? I'm an ignorant American. Most of you people are far more intelligent than me from around the world. Was that rude, what I just did? That was a good one. I teach you how to trade. Stop that. Nothing funny about, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't talking about, no. See, now see, this is what happens on the live stream. I wasn't talking about dementia. Which now I'm thinking, that's not what I'm saying. No. My laugh guy, hey, Paul, stop hitting the laugh track like that. Not at the right time, man. You got to hit it at the right time, all right? All right. He goes, no, rude but funny. Wow, this got the chat cooking, man. I'm going to do more comedy on the show, right? You know what I mean? I was talking to my wife the other day, and she says, how come you don't take me in any place I've never been? So I took her to the kitchen. What did the wise man say to his wife? Nothing. He was a wise man. All right. Let's get serious now. Not laughing, but can't say how that was. We're not talking about everyone. We're not talking about the dementia joke. All right. We're doing something that we weren't doing that. I was talking about the Indian accent. All right. Which I don't know which one's worse, but I'm not, you know what I mean? 106K, Eric the Red. Thank you. God bless you, Eric. We love you, man. 777. Thank you so much for jumping on in. No way that's funny. Now, no way that is funny or no way that's funny. Like, see, I can interpret that. No way that is funny. Like, don't worry about it, or no way that's funny. Like, there's no way that's funny. See, like, now I don't even understand what you see how you can text message can get people so thrown off, right? Why don't women need watches? Because there's a clock in the kitchen. Oh my God. I can't if I laugh at that, I'm the worst person in the world, right? But it's funny, man. That was funny. You heard his joke? He said, why don't women need watches? He said, because there's a clock in the kitchen. But no, shout out to all the beautiful women here on the stream, though. Seriously. You're better, you know what I mean? There's a lot of great men chefs. So it's not, you know what I mean? We can all cook. Like, Sam's in a good mood today. Commas are important. Anyway. Yeah, they are really. Commas change it all. Now, Ondo could be getting a bounce here off this daily 21. His previous support of resistance right here, too, as well. Just an area to think about. If RWA starts to get a bit of a move, this could be a beautiful, at least a beautiful DCA. But you know what I mean? These altcoins have me sketched out, to be honest. USOIL looks nicer to me here. And honestly, that means we may get an escalation. You get it back up to 117. That may be the top. But one more nice little rally for oil here. Get people in really fear, push the inflation up a bit and get things cooking. That's just what the charts convey. I'm not telling you what's going to happen for sure. I'm just a guy that looks at the chats and I do what the chats convey over here. Wow, Bitcoin playing games. Let's take a look at the bigger picture. Let's calm down before we jump into any trades. We might, because you know what happens is you wake up and you're like, I got to get into a trade right now. I got to do it right now. And like you might have seen something on a bigger time frame that told you to slow down. I'm going to give you my my outlook on life here. I guess the question is, an Indian guy make you laugh for making fun of your Boston accent? Yes. I think that would be hilarious. If he could do it well. Yeah, you know what I mean? I think comedy is fun. I love, see, it depends if you're partial to comedy. Some people are partial to, like, I don't know. I'm partial to feeling good. Laughing is a part of feeling good. If I can laugh throughout the day, I'm going to find ways to laugh. Sometimes my wife thinks I'm immature, and she still to this day looks at me and says, I wish you were a little more, but, I still, in my defense, I got to make a joke if it's there, Not every time. I'm not like the rudest. There's people that are way ruder than me. But I think it's funny to be funny, if that makes any sense. Anyway, let's get back into what I'm here for. Not talking about my insane sense of humor, which you may have. I think you probably have a similar one because you're here with the Lifer, and they do a good job pairing us up here with the algorithm. Shout out to the Google algo. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to everybody here. And it's nothing but positivity. Thanks for everything, Sammy. Shout out to the Crypto Taco. Shout out to you and your daughter, man. I got 3 beautiful girls, man. I love hanging with my kids. And yeah, I want them to be able to watch the stream again. Or sometimes my wife plays it. And sometimes, we toe the line on Saturday night, but we hope the kids are in bed by 8 p.m. I mean, some people, I guess my kids go to bed at like 9 sometimes. But anyway, first thing I'm looking at is the monthly candle. And it's not a healthy candle, folks. It's not beautiful. Either they're messing with their minds here, or they're going to wick it and then wick it back. I don't know, but it's not. That's looking bearish. Like it may be the beginning of a right shoulder, right? On the monthly time frame. And, these thoughts of a possible bigger bottom here, like we may, again, it may take a few months to take out this low. 1, 2, 3, like we may dump. But again, sell in May and go away is now becoming to be a possibility here for Bitcoin. Remember last bear market, we kind of like to stay down here in the stochastics, and we did just kind of boom down. Let me just look at them for a split second, though, see if I can get any insight. Even though we know everything is possible, I just like to dabble with this idea. So, I mean, yeah, they did give a bit of a cross, but look, nothing. When they finally got a big cross and got a big move, it was a propeller. It really was the beginning of a bigger move. To me, we're doing that right there. So I'm just comparing it. Like, could it be a fake out? It looks unlikely, but So maybe they're just toying with us here. This candle will rebuild itself back up in the next 2 weeks. We're just going through a little tough time here for Bitcoin. When you zoom in tight, though, the wick is very small. It's there, but it's very small. So it's barely noticeable. That's, I like a bigger, we'd like it to have a more, more size there, no pun intended, but, So anyway, we're looking at here at the monthly, and that candle looks weak to me. That's not a great candle. 2 month as well. 3 month is okay. Possible tweezer bottom on the 3 months, suggesting a bottom at about 68,000. So the 3 month looks pretty strong. 6 month is still in a possible, move down. If I took a 6 month chart and just pulled a fib, you're still looking at about 54,000. A possible wick down to 38, 39K, or this level here, 45,000. So, you got to start opening up. Bitcoin gets bigger. The bigger time frames are going to start giving us more information. Eventually, we will be trading on the 6 month, just like I never looked at the monthly, but now we trade, you know what I mean? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, even 15 years from now, this 6 month chart is going to have so much more data, right? Right now, there's about 10 years of information. It's going to have another 10 years. And it's likely to look something like this. And if you zoom out and you look at Bitcoin, and so, and you can kind of get a gauge of the price action. That's kind of a bit, that says, by 2029, you're back at 167,000, right? We have a real bear market here. We go through some pain. We come back up. We have an amazing alt season off of that rally because things get really low. Well, you can really 100x and off a very tiny move. And the people that are really here to be here will be here for it no matter what. See, like, crypto's so volatile, it eventually can get so low that just to move up. Could this be a possibility? It very well could be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I think you should be ready for it, right? And again, I keep seeing, when I look at the charts in a deep way, I keep seeing it's going to take a lot longer to get back to key levels than people think. And that's okay. I think that's better off to believe. 2029, 170 still would be amazing. You're getting Bitcoin right now at 60K, so you're talking about almost about a 3x in 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's, you can't beat that. That's a beautiful thing. That's beautiful. All these stupid people don't believe in Bitcoin. No. So yeah, I mean, Bitcoin looking like it wants to dump here. Just like we were looking at here, it is looking dumpy. And I'm missing my entry here on the smaller time frames. I don't love to trade Mondays because, they're pretty treacherous. But you can kind of clearly, what my mentor taught me about trading is to trust patterns more than anything else. All right. So he said that would be a bear flag, Sam. The breakout would be like, okay. But he would tell me, if you get anywhere back in between these two lines that you just made, you trade it just like it's a bear flag yet again. Now, with the stream, me talking, me doing my thing and making some jokes and all that, I may have missed a beautiful entry here, which is okay. And I was also kind of seeing if we could get a right shoulder there. You see? On the slide there. I was going to bring that in if we got it. We didn't. We got a pretty much, rejection by the 200. See, just as what the daily just did. The daily rejected the 200. And we did it twice. Right? Maybe we get a bull div and we kind of bounce out. You never know, but yeah, this thing is melting. You take a look at Bookmap, and Bookmap has liquidity to the downside all the way down there to 73,500. It's suggesting that we're going to take a nice little $3,000 dippage. It's not going to happen all at once, I'll tell you that. We'll definitely find some entries here if we stay diligent. And remember, it all starts when you lose the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame. Then you lose it on the 5. Right? Remember, my strategies are tried and true. Like, you don't see me going for my usual long right now. I'm not, let's take a long. No. What now you do is you flip this upside down and we just kind of start to do this. The trend's your friend until it's not. So right now the trend is to the downside, right? Now this thing's going to move, but eventually it's gonna. And here's the deal. This is where you have to have more faith in the logic of the charts than your emotions. When you give into emotions, you're aping in right now because you realize that it's going down. I'm going to knock, and a lot of people are going to, and then if it settles back down, they're going to freak out. They're going to move their stop. They're going to get over. And if they're heavy leverage, they're going to lose. Trust me, a lot of people are going to lose money right now because you got to calm. Right now, you just got to stay calm. You got to know that you're the opportunity, and the opportunity can come to you today if you stay planned, poised, and ready. If you do anything but that, you're the bait. They're the shark and you're the bait, right? Don't let them eat you alive, right? So here's the trade that I should be waiting for, looking for, something like this. I don't know exactly. This might bounce right up all the way, and then I might be in a long in the next hour. See, I'm only going to take my system. If this goes sideways and the 21 touches, I'm in a short. If this pumps up, drags the 21 back, I'm in a long. And I know exactly where I'm shorting and longing, and then anything in between to me is where they're just going to wreck a lot of 100x. And I just stay poised and ready. Does it mean I might do this whole thing? I might wait this whole time and get into a short right here, and they might just jack me up. They might just push it right out and bump it to the upside. I understand that just because I'm poised and ready and disciplined, I still may lose. Mark Douglas taught me so much. Trading in the Zone. I highly suggest you get this book or just listen to it for free on YouTube. You can find almost any book now on audio form and on YouTube. It's just waiting for you. And Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. He's just going to teach you how an older trader would have taken a lot of what you take in. and how we treat ourselves so rough. We're so tough on ourselves when we don't need to be. You know what I'm saying? We blame ourselves, and there's a lot of emotions that go into trading when you really need to get that out. You're not right or wrong. I was so wrong. I missed, no. Now, when you over leverage and you don't use any risk management, you're wrong. That's that's when you make, I'm going to tell you right now, my biggest losses in leverage trading. Every single time I threw in a trade without a stop loss and said, you know what I mean? I got this. Without a real plan. Like I've gone in without a stop loss a couple times because I was in pretty big. I could see some key levels they were going to bounce price. Wasn't sure. And I knew, you know what? I can take, I'll go 2,000 for 6,000 here. I'll go in. If I go down between 15 and 16, I'll start thinking about where to get out. You know what I mean? And I take the hit that I'm willing to take. But it's rare. And it has to be right. It has to be when I really look at price action. And but 95% of the time I'm using a stop loss. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you right now, my biggest losses have come in my life when I've not used a stop. Because what happens, I'll tell you exactly what happens when I don't use a stop. My mind is infinite and it thinks of so many different things and it's active. And that's a beautiful thing about my brain. Beautiful thing maybe about yours too. That's why you like the channel. We have that in common, right? So you got this active brain that's always moving and you're thinking so much and you're connecting and you're like, and you got all these great thoughts and it brings you these big, you get the, and it zooms into how you feel and you're like, oh my gosh, right? You get a thought and you get that thought and it tingles in your chest and then your stomach feels good and like your thought starts making you feel good because you're so energetic and you're zooming, right? And remember, this is a beautiful thing that's going on, right? So my point is, as that's happening, you're getting into a trade. So then you want to use that awesome thought process, that you have, right? Because you're like me, because you're here on this channel. So you have this, so you want to use this and make, okay, how can I, get in and out of a trade? How can I map a trade out here? And you plan it out before it happens. And then you're like, and I'm using I got to be at the speed of light here. If this is really going to be a short, I want to click it in. And I'm also telling myself that I'm ready to flip long. I'm ready to flip long, right? And so if you just came to this channel and you saw me get this short ready, and then 10 minutes later it booms up. I don't get into it. It just booms up. And then I end up taking a long up here. And you're like, this guy is like, he didn't take his own trade. I think I might get confused if I was a beginner trader. You see what I'm saying? But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I just have to know that if you keep coming here, that over time, my consistency will win you over. That's what I'm going for as a trader, as a teacher, as someone out here, right? So here's my thing. I'm back to the idea. So you use this awesome mindset that you have in this fast moving thought process. Now, if you have a mind like mine and like you that we described, like yours, and you don't get in and you get in with no stop loss, the infinite possibilities will come. And then when it gets near here, you're like, but what if it bounces back up and I don't lose that much? And then what happens is, and this has happened to me many, many times. I get in, I say I'm going to go 2,000 for 6. Or I want to go, let's say I really want to make, and it's always when I'm greedy, when I want 10,000. It's always when I want 10, 15, 20,000 out of one trade. It's always when the number 10, 20,000 comes up. Something like that. When it's like, I got to make this huge number. I got to make this giant number. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's always when it happens for me. And so I get obsessed with, oh yeah, this is going to be the big one. And like, it gets in your head. Instead of just saying, you know what, today I'm going to take whatever the market gives me and I'm going to be super grateful. I'm going to do it day by day with God's help and God's grace. Everything's going to go okay. You know what I'm saying? That's like the way to be. But like for some reason, it just, you know what I mean? We get greedy. We get greedy for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it is what it is. All right. As I put an armpit pad in there, armpit pads, man, because I sweat through my suits. Sorry. I know, right? This is what you're not supposed to tell people you're doing when you're live streaming. Like, you know what I mean? But literally, like, otherwise, like, I ruin my suits. Like, I really should put these on, like, without the suit on. It's not really working that well here. Yeah, this one is a little tight. Anyway, better than nothing. So anyway, back to the basics. So when you don't use a stop loss and you have a beautiful mind, a creative mind, an artist mind, it's detrimental, because what happens now is you're like, so say we get into this trade, no stop loss. Let's just say we were getting into this trade, no stop loss right now. We were sure it's going down. We're just so sure. The 21's pointing down. We're just like, we've got this. We've looked at the liquidity on Bookmap. Everyone in the trading group says short. All our buddies. I just watched 2 YouTubers that I love, and they both say short. Everyone's telling me it's going my way. I just watched another YouTuber, and he just opened up a short. I'm like, wow. And that's a guy I love, I'm just, this is what happens to traders. I'm just telling you. So now you're like, okay, so you go short right here, no stop loss. All right. And now it starts going up a little bit. And usually it's a pretty big trade because people think, oh, I got this for sure. So they go heavier than you. When I use no stop loss, it was always the biggest trades I've ever been in. How crazy is that too? So not only was it the biggest trades I've ever been in, but that's when because you can't get stopped out you could lose the biggest amount of money. So that's when you don't use a stop loss. This is insane. Listen to what I'm saying, right? But this is what traders do. And welcome to the channel. This is the life of a trader, inside life of a trader that nobody talks about. That's what we do talk about here on this channel. That's what we break down. So people can understand what it's like to be a trader in the game, right? Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. It says we have 3,000 people here. I'll take it. 3,000 beautiful souls here on the live stream. Is that for real? That's what I'm seeing on YouTube, but you know what I mean? So shout out to the 3,000 beautiful souls here on the live. We are blasting into space. Biggest live stream in the game. Maybe we're finally getting what's due. Well, I'm taking a picture of that, man. 3,100 people watching on the stream. We'll take it. I mean, we're dropping some awesome sauce right now. What I'm talking about is, so now you're super creative and you get into this trade. As I lose the sauce that I'm talking about here. So you get into this trade, you're super, all right. And so now it starts to go against you. And now the first time in your life, because it's the biggest trade you ever made, and you went in with no stop, you're down bigger than you've ever been down. 500, 2,000, 3,000. Now you're sweating. Now you're like, what if it keeps going? And then you can see your liquidation. Now for the first time, you might lose the whole account. You've been trading good for 2 months straight. You've taken 10,000 to 15,000. It's been hard. You've gone up and down, but you're up. You're in the top 95% of traders right now because most people lose money. And you've taken 10 grand to 15 grand. It's taken you 2 months, but you've done it. You're going for a profitable year. For the first time in your life, you're on the way. But you just felt like you had to go all in on this one. And now you're seeing, oh my God. And now you have a choice. Cut off the trade at 3,000. Cut off your wounds. And at least you have 7,000 to play with, or, and take the big loss and say, you know what? And be super happy about it when you cut it off, because you know what? I'm going to learn my lesson. I know what I did wrong. I traded without a plan. I traded without a stop loss. Without a stop loss, there is no plan because there's no risk management. There's no what for what. What are you giving for what are you giving? It's like going to a street fair and blindly buying an object, right? And the guy's like, what do you want it for? And you're like, I don't know. Like, whatever happens. He's like, what do you mean? You're like, yeah, whatever, whatever you say. And, so he's like, okay, how about $500? And you're just like, what? And then you go home and you pay you overpay for it because you had no plan. I know it's not the best, but it's kind of similar in an idea but you go in there like, no, I'm buying this and I'm not paying more than this for it. And then you go and you haggle and you either leave because no one gives you the price you asked for, or someone eventually bends the knee. And you have to be ready to leave. And that's kind of similar to having a stop loss. Like, the people that make the most money in any negotiation are people that are ready to leave. You got to be ready to leave. You see what I'm saying? You got to be ready to leave. If you're ready to leave, bang, you got this. So, and I'm telling you guys, I believe every day there's thousands of people here on this live. It just somehow gets shadowed. But I believe we have thousands of people here on the live stream every day, man. I firmly believe it. Without a doubt in my mind. You know what I mean? Trust me, man. This stream is connecting worldwide. Shout out. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. That were greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for all the love. All right. So look, now we're still looking to enter this short trade here. All right. We didn't jump in immediately, even though it may actually dump on us even quicker. There may be a faster path here to dumpage. The 1 minute looks pretty bearish. Yesterday, we took a late 1 minute short, and it did pay off, right? You saw we were up $500 as the stream ended. Can we do it again? Similar idea. I'm going to stick to the 5 minute time frame. The 1 minute's been very volatile. I'm going to give myself a little bit of space and look for that 5 minute to connect to this 21. I may miss out. It may dump again, and I may miss out. That's okay. I'd rather a lower risk trade than having to ape into something that, you know, I'm not comfortable with. I still can get the trade kind of cooking here. 77.017. I think I can even bring it down to like 76.882. And every dollar really matters when you're trading like this. 331, and we're still at what, a 74, 238? Yeah, 283. Ooh, I messed those up. See that? And then you look at your, you know, I just want to see where I'm at. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hold on 1 second though. Hold on over here. So, and again, say you want to trade this stuff, but you don't have a lot of money. All right. You can jump on into Bitfunded. Right now they're doing they have so many cool deals right now. So jump on in, check them out. And you can trade with like $100,000 for very little amount of money. So check it out, their deals. They have some awesome stuff going down right now specifically, right? Because they're new, they're breaking into the industry. So like right now, here's a pretty good short, right? I mean, that looks to me like it's a descending triangle. Wants to go lower to the downside. And you can set your trades up on Bitfunded exactly the same way. We got a trading view widget here. All right. All ready to go. And bang, I mean, oh yeah, hold on, I'm like about to say, I'm like, wait. I want to make sure you grab the short position when you're using short. And look, there's about a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio again here to the downside, right? Means it's going to happen for sure, no, but that's a pretty good scalp. You can set your take profit. I want to go to 75.445. The stop loss can be down there at what? Up at what? 76.657. Same idea, right? You see how much you want to use in the trade. You can hit advance to see what's going on. I'm going to, you know, what am I going to risk for when I'm going to open, what I'm going to gain? And I think I messed up the take profit, right? Let's see here. Okay, I got to sell short. I don't think it knows that right now. Yeah, there you go. Open short. See? Yeah, so $338 for $1,000. I mean, that's right. And I'm not going to take that right now. Remember, I'm walking that 5 minute time frame. This could be an unusually interesting short squeeze here, just on the smaller time frame. But Bitfunded is exactly similar to trading on weeks, right? And then you jump on in, you make the trade. But you can see here, there's $100,000 in here. I've done 3 trades, haven't lost a trade yet here on Bitfunded. So, and I just do so many trades, I have to remind myself. But if you want to jump on in and get on into Bitfunded, it's amazing. So check it out today. Okay, one other thing that I want to show you, all right, is one other coin that's been on my radar for the last few days that looks interesting. And that's this Canton CC. For whatever reason, it's been consolidating. And again, maybe it just kind of dumps out of nowhere, but you can see this pattern of just higher lows and tightness. And I want to see it just kind of hang out in here. Ondo just did this and decided to slightly break out. So I'd put this on the radar, just something I want, that I've been watching, and I'm nice enough to kind of bring up here. Canton CC, okay? Canton CC. Yeah. All right, let's get back into the bigger time frames for Bitcoin, right? We didn't finish our top-down analysis. So the monthly, it doesn't look amazing, folks. I got to be honest. And I have said, the last few times, I've never seen the monthly do a fake out, but maybe this is the first time we're going to get I guess right here we did one. And you could say this is where we're at right here. We're making this like shoulder, head, kind of right shoulder, shoulder, head, kind of right shoulder. And we're, but if that candle closes anywhere near like that with a wick like that, even if it's green, to me, that I don't know. I mean, I guess we could say okay, but that needs to come back up. It's got to close back above at least this candle in this wick for me to feel any substantial move that's continuing. Otherwise, that's a bearish close. We got beautiful moves on the VRVP, dude, suggesting that we can move to the upside here, but only time will tell. The 2-week chart, again, it's halfway. It could start a comeback and then make a beautiful move, and I'm not saying it can't do that. We still have support for the 2-week chart at about 73,271. So there's still support there for BTC. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? And thank you for the likes, up to 900 likes. Unbelievable. 3,900 people here in the stream. Something's going on, right? But anyway, sometimes it's just how YouTube works. I don't know, right? But God bless everybody here. Thank you for jumping on in. And the weekly could just be making a cup and handle here. You see what I'm saying? Just like coming back for for a higher low. May not be the worst thing in the world. We could pull a Fibonacci. And yeah, we might be bouncing here off 71.5. We might come down to 68.8. We could even bounce right here off this previous resistance as support. That's like right above with a wick to the 618. May not be the worst thing in the world, but we did. I mean, we went from the low stochastics to the high on the weekly. It's a pretty big move, right? And we've been pumping for a month and a half. So, and guys, we took a lot of, if you were with me, we took a lot of profits and I didn't give them back. All right. So, what about Canton Hype? And shout out to everybody here in the chat. Thank you. And the chat is out of control too, which tells me that this is pretty crazy, right? 4.4 million viewers. Let's go. I love you, man. 5K lifer is life and gratitude. This is crazy. Someone's doing something silly, man. Bots without a doubt. Somebody messing around. I know, right? Which always freaks me out too. You know what I mean? Makes me want to like sometimes just I'm a guy in the internet chat, so I know, right? 7 million viewers. It's crazy. Sam, do you time the background music with your bullish or bearish comments to sync? Yeah, 100%. Like if it's hype it up when it's feeling good, hype it down. Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? You got to. It's a whole, the whole entire show is choreographed, man. To keep you going, to keep you feeling the vibes. All right. Okay, so moving forward. So yeah, we're just sitting inside this bear flag here. But so, this could still be a cup and handle pullback with a higher low. May not be the worst thing in the world because that, the monthly still, we might dig in. We might come down one more and then the monthly candle, there's a chance. I mean, I'm saying it's not the worst thing in the world, but you do have to say, well, isn't this a rising wedge? Aren't we breaking the trend? And I'd say yes. And don't they break down to where they began? And I'd say yes. Just smash the like button. Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. I don't even know how I got where I'm at today, man. It's like building a house blind, and next thing you know, there's actually something sitting there in front of you, and you're like, but how? But when? You know what I mean? Like, how is this even possible? To me, it's just insane, right? So... Yeah. So the weekly, you got to look at that as more of a bearish sign. I mean, 100%. Right? Same thing here on the 5-day chart, bouncing off the 200 moving average. Not a good sign. The 3-day chart right here. All right. I mean, and that look, after 3, and right there, the short starts to get in your head. I mean, that's when I started telling you guys, hey, we have to take that as bearish. I mean, the 3-day chart. And you have 3, that's 9 days straight after such a beautiful move. Right? And again, same thing here. Like, we could do a Fibonacci. And yeah, we might have to pull back somewhere down to 72,000. Like, nothing goes up straight. It goes up, it comes back. It goes up, it comes back. Just like it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. If we're going down here hard, right, you got to come up first before you go down. Even if we're and again, it's a lower high compared to that bigger idea. It suggests you are going back to 47,000. If you're not ready to handle that, silver, please. Thank you, Kirk. God bless, Kirk. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Another day in the office over here. So, what I'm talking about is, a pullback to this Fibonacci level, which to me is just something you have to consider. All right. Let's go to the daily and see what's happening on the daily. Now, the daily, 4 red candles in a row. I mean, and you lost the trend line. Like, once you lost the trend line, right, and the 21-day moving average, and, I was looking for this. Like, if we had just gotten some consolidation, man, that could have been one of the greatest trades of the year. And again, I wasn't going to make it unless we got right there, but that's why you set up. That's why I love my system. It'll identify when you're weak. And then we had the head and shoulder pattern on the bigger time frames. And wow, this just looks, that looks bearish to me. You could stay down here below the trend line for a little bit more. The daily really, to me, looks like it wants to come down at least to 75, maybe even lower. Right? It really down to this high volume node at 71,000 with a stop at possibly 72.8. Now, maybe it has to make a right shoulder first because it's kind of like this bigger idea. And then a dump down. Something that I would be looking out for. 12-hour looks bearish. You got bearish candles, 8-hour. And the 4-hour lost the 200 moving average. The second you close below that, and let's look at the 5-day. 5-day is below the 200. I mean, it's testing it. Once you lose the 5-day 200, that's when I get extra bearish too. Sad to say, or at least that we're going to pull back and we might get a bounce with a higher low. But this could even be a shoulder, a head, or right shoulder. It could take a long time, make a head and shoulder, and dump us somewhere down to 54, 56,000. I'm open-minded to lower prices. I look at everything as an opportunity. If we dump, it's an opportunity. I stay open-minded the whole time because you know what? I never know when my life is going to end, man. I have to say without, as sad as that sounds, it's a fact. And if I spent my day upset because of the price of Bitcoin and it was one of my last days on earth, I'd be and I look back on myself. And that's something I had to conquer because a lot of days price action affected me so much. I was sick inside over all the ups and downs in price. And I have to, because I was so obsessed with money. And I had to release myself from money. And isn't that funny? When I fully released myself from money and I brought God into my life, that's when money poured into my life in a way I could never believe. Like, it became effortless, as if it was just there. Wasn't always the case. I see Bitcoin dumping now. That 1 minute looks like it's going to play out, or the bear flag on the 5-minute time frame looks very likely. Yeah. All right, so dumpage to the downside here, further down. Oh my gosh, that thing is dumping. Let's take a look at the smaller time frames real quick for BTC. I'll look at them right here. Let's take a look at like the 1 minute, the 5 minute. So remember, we started the dump. It didn't look good because you're below the 200 moving average, right? And then you can see kind of clearly make it more of like a descending triangle. Like, to me, that's going lower, folks. Yeah, the daily looks bearish. This looks bearish. And again, you're just, same way we trade the other way. Nothing has changed. And there's a chance this could pull back, get more some sideways price action. But I mean, that's Dump City on the 1 minute. There's your 1 minute on the 21 inside of the descending triangle. You can say, isn't there some bull div there? It's a little bit, but it's fighting so hard to stay alive. And your next target would be 75,500, 480 to be exact there, but 75.5. So I got my phone on me. Hey. Anyway, hold on 1 second. Just randomly got signed out of one of my accounts that I would like to be in. So I got to do the do, which is annoying when I'm live, but it's all right. It happens. If I can find a way to get out of here. You can log in, but you can never log out. There we go. Wow, Bitcoin dumping to the downside. I like that. I mean, was the likely story. I mean, that's your descending triangle. These things break down 90% of the time. If you watch my channel, that is a go-to short, 21 below the 200, just like we would flip it the other way. And again, like, my system is very similar to a lot of systems that I've seen where people wait for a daily move, take advantage of one direction or the other. I mean, it's just like, I just use the moving averages to complete the idea behind it all. To me, it's a beautiful thing. And you want to be doing the same thing over and over and over again. All right? Every single time, if you can. All right? If you can. Shout out to the 11,000 people here in the stream as that, let's go, likes for the legend. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. All right? And I want to hook you up, guys, today. All right? We're going to give, if you need a hardware wallet, for the time being, this will work for the next few years. Get yourself a Trezor Model T. All right, we have them right now, and you can't even get them anymore, and I think they're actually awesome, so jump on in and grab one. Go to trezor.io if you like it. I have a link below if you like Trezor. But we are doing, we'll hook you up with a Trezor wallet. So today, right now, as we speak, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down a number on the Trezor wallet, if I may. If I can find myself a pen, which I got here, a number between $200 and $500. All right. And I got the number right here. And you'd be surprised how many people are going to hit it up. And again, start right now, put the number in. Whoever gets the number, you might put it in, but I can't see it. If you put it in and I see it, you win. So let's see what can happen here. Send it. Send it, send it, send it, send it. Bitcoin look like it's going to drop hard to the downside, folks. Let's see what's going on here. And everything happens for a reason, all right, for whatever reasoning. But here it is. And remember, I was waiting for that short. And I may get a better entry, or, I lost a little bit of that move, but we may get a better entry here. And here we are on weeks 2 looking for it. It dropped a little bit. I signed out myself. I hit a button accidentally, signed myself out when I was actually looking at the balance or something. I don't know what I was doing, but I had to sign myself back in. And here we go. But so I missed an entry there for a split second, which I apologize. But we'll see. Let's let this thing consolidate. Let's see if we can be real patient here. Let the 21 come into play, price action. And let me build the trade. Still about a nice, almost a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio if it plays out as such. Stop loss would be at about 76,588. And that take profit would be at about 74,208. Yeah, going low, like Lolita, right? Now that I like a $2,000, 2,000. If I can get, always got to flip it. I like that they have that button too. The other ones are like, I really like the way Weeks does this. There's different ways to short and long on different areas, and this one to me is just, I like the best. 74,208. Other ones you just put it in, then you open short. This one, like, you click it at least first, and you kind of set it, right? And that would make sense to me. Yeah, 400 for 17, and you get about $2,000. I mean, this is a beautiful trade. 493. I either lose $200 or I make $2,000 on the day. I mean, it's a beautiful trade. So this is my next idea. It might take an hour for this to play out, right? So I was playing on a, okay, so keep the numbers coming on in, folks. Keep the numbers coming on in. Let's take a look here. Keep the numbers coming on in. I got to see it, and then I'm going to verify that it's the real number. All right? Keep them pumping on in right now. Thank you so much for jumping on in. Thank you for the likes. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on into the live stream. Go to CryptoLifer.com if you want to find out more. All right, it's ripping, and you can see I'm looking. Okay, for let's see here. No, wow, it's flying in though. You people are awesome. Look at this. I'm eventually gonna see it. Ooh, someone got really close right here. Someone's like 2 numbers away right in here, which is crazy. It's almost impossible for me to see it all. Like, I never thought in my life that I'd have a channel that would be doing this. This is insane. This is insane. Look at this chat. Like, this chat is insanity. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Show me the money over here. Between 300 and 500. So it's you know, no 200 sauce. Oh my gosh. It's taking me, for me, I have to see it. It has to happen. Oh. And I'm sure someone's put it in by now, but I can't see it even. That's why it's fun. It's like it has to, 2 things have to occur, which I find fascinating about this whole thing. I don't know if it's even possible at this point. I got to do one of those number things. It does it automatically for us next week or tomorrow, something. Oh my goodness. I might just have to just pick whatever. Oh my goodness. And then we got to get back into the charts right now as they're dumping 76,130. But this is crazy. Like, it's making me wonder if the numbers are like, I mean, this is the craziest I've ever seen the chat in my life. Like, I wanted to test it because of the numbers on the screen. I was just like, is this for real? What if we finally broke through? YouTube was just like, all right, you've live streamed for thousands of times. Like, we're finally just we're going to test if we can let you go all the way with this, you know? No profanity. We keep it awesome for, you know, advertisers and the like. All right, someone's getting close. Someone's got to have done it. I'm searching for you. This one's real close. Right in here somewhere. That's like a kind of a... I still don't see the number, though, which is crazy. I'm going to have to go back to the live again and let it rip. We're getting close, though. I'm pretty sure we're getting close. Wow. Someone just doing every single number from that number. Eventually, you know, it's got to go in. This is crazy. This is probably the craziest chat rate we've ever had on the stream. In the history of the stream, right? So, the biggest streamer in the game. In the history of streaming. I mean, this would be one of the biggest live streams in the history of cryptocurrency if this was for real. Like, 12,000 people. Like, that's what we have to do, a monster trade. Like, it's got to play out perfectly here today. I mean, it doesn't have to, but it would be great if it did. You know what? Whatever we do, it would be perfect because that's how this channel vibes out. I'm going to have to just pick it. I feel like I would have seen it by now. The odds are, you know, remember, between 300 and 500. All right. 300 and 500. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. This is crazy. I got to stop it. I got to stop it at one point. Like, it's just like, what? I'm overwhelmed. I think it's the caffeine, but I am overwhelmed. Like, this is insane. Let's take a look. I knew to wear a nice suit today. I knew it. I knew it. I just want to be true to the game, and like whatever the number is, I want that number, man. I want to like fake it. I want to just like move the number, but I'm like, I know we're gonna see it. It's getting so close. I might have to just like shrink it down for people, and then just take whatever comes. This is just fascinating. Like, how long will this go on for? Forever, right? It's just like insane. Oh, do we get it? Do we get it? And then I got to be sharp to do this too. Oh my God. Someone was like right there. You're a number off, like 2 numbers off. Anyway, I want to keep the energy up too. 76,300 for Bitcoin. Are we going to be able to survive here? Getting a little bit of a bounce. Going after those late shorts, right? The numbers got to come in now. And we got to do something else too, man. We got to do a poll now. And here's the poll I've been asking for the last few days. We're going to put out a poll in a second too as well. All right, come on. There it is. 472. Moon 3872. 472, bro. There it is. You see the 472. You won a TREZOR wallet. Email us from this YouTube channel here, this Gmail account. All right, my man Moon Jay, you won, man. God bless you, bro. Let's have some fun is what you say, and hey, I hope you have some fun today. All right, so we want to see this play out into a flag, and then we want to take the short if possible. If it bounces back, we take the long. We're right back where I was before we got that mini jab to the downside there. Bitcoin actually already took a bit of a short down, but still a chance we can get some more out of this, right? The bigger time frames are looking bearish. Let's see if we can take advantage of a scalp here to the downside. It is a Monday, false move Monday, but we're okay so far, so good. All right. Shout out to everyone that just participated. You people are amazing. And that is the biggest I've ever seen the chat rate in the history. So I don't know what's going on here, but will Bitcoin hit 54K or 104K first? All right. And we're going to write 54K and 104K. And what do people think here? We're just going to start a poll. Will Bitcoin hit 54K or 104K first? Start a poll here. Let me know in the chat. All right. Appreciate it. All right. All right. Let's keep it moving. So we're looking to see if we can get into another short here on the stream. We're just I'm using the 5-minute time frame. At the 1 minute here, the 1 minute is pretty bearish too still, and looks like it may play out as such. But what I'm doing is I got weeks open, and we're live trading here on weeks, and we got the trade set up so far. And there's a chance it rips without me. I mean, it dips without me, but I also don't want to chase for no reason. So. And this would be 400 for 2,000. It would be a great trade if it played out. It's a 6-1. We lost a little bit there because now it's a 5-1. But it's not really, I mean, the risk will change, but I want to get the best price action too. I want to make sure the 21's touching price before I jump on in. When I flip back to that 1 minute though, the 1 minute looks like I should just be shorting the 1 minute and forgetting about any other price action. 1 minute suggests I could get in right now and just ride this another descending triangle to the downside. Suggest maybe I should get in right now. That is, something. There's some weakness in my system where that sometimes can conflict with me, and I have to decide whether I want to trade the 1 minute or the 5. Right? And sometimes I've waited for the 5 minute to play out and I've missed the 1 minute dump. Sometimes I've gone on the 1 minute and it's gone sideways, and the 5 minute ends up playing out. So I dabble with it. What I do here is I just trust the 5 minute 21 and I sit on it. And if I miss, I miss. Right? But that does look like we're going lower to 75,200. That's a pretty big dump. All right. 5-minute chart going to make me crazy. Hey. All right. And shout out to everyone here. If you want to jump on in and trade where I trade, you can hit the referral link to Weeks right here in the pinned comment. We make it very simple. Hit that link to sign up to Weeks today or to BTCC. Right now with BTCC, we're doing something absolutely amazing. All right. And we're dropping a rollie, 3 rollies to people. All right. When we hit our big target. So if you sign up to BTCC today, that'll be amazing. Let me get that up and running. But right here, if you sign, and we have a link to that right now running, 13 days left, man. So not long, man. At the end here of June, Lifer 333 invitation code, and it's going to roll on. So, right, all you got to do is sign up a deposit, trade futures on BTCC, and they got oil. They got Tech 100, which is the NASDAQ. They got the S&P. They got Apple. They got gold. They got everything. So BTCC, man, roll get a rollie, man. Maybe get your first rollie by doing your best trades. Imagine that, how that month would end for you. So check it out today. Yeah, that looks like we're going to dump. Like I might as well just get in right now and let that puppy go down. 555. I mean, it's pretty close to the target, but that 1 minute looks so bearish. It's going to just start to dump. Something's telling me to hesitate for whatever reason. When you hesitate, there's a reason, but that looks bearish. I mean, it's like an M pattern going lower. Monster dump for Bitcoin today. The whole world kind of in shock. Is the S&P also going to follow? Let's take a look at your S&P futures. But I mean, yeah, you got to start thinking. And the target of this would take you down to 47,000. Let's take a look at the S&P ES1. And again, I've been here every day telling people I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I did buy a lot of Bitcoin when the Fear and Greed Index hit 5 and we went down to 60,000. You know, to me, that was a big tell to buy more BTC, and maybe we get a chance to get it to the low fear again, into 5 again. And if we go down there to 47,000, I will be a buyer of more BTC. I will. All right. Looking super bearish here, but maybe we get a bounce. We go more sideways. I want to see if the 5-minute could pave the way here for the short. So I'm staying patient for that 5-minute to give me that bear flag, this is very hard to do right now, what I'm doing, to be poised, because the old me would just be like, I'd have to get in right now. I couldn't handle it. All right. So remember, we've taken you through the bigger to the smaller time frames, even the 1 hour. Look at that. Just 3 red candles in a row. So a fake up, get everybody rocked and wrecked. Make a lower high though, compared to here. Get us back inside the bear pennant, break it down. And as I was taught by my mentor was so awesome. He taught me how to trade broken patterns, which I don't think I've never seen anyone really teach people. And this is what I teach my students here. And if you get something like this, I mean, look at this. This is a beautiful, right? That's a beautiful move. And that could take you down where to 75,119. All right. So that's the target that I'm looking for. That looks like where the 1 hour wants to go. The stochastics are just getting started. No reason why this can't happen. So now you see the bigger time frames say yes. Now I just look for entries on the smaller time frames that give me the best risk. That's all I'm doing right now with the 1 minute and the 5 minute. People think it's risky. The small time frames just are like using a magnifying glass, just giving you an expert way to enter, a more precise way to enter the trade, right? With more to watch, more to look at, just a closer look at it. And then we can flip from that 1 minute, that 1 hour back to the 1 minute, and you can clearly see this is starting to look, how that looks like a descending triangle too. Even the 1 minute looks very bearish right now. And it's okay. What goes up must come down. Look, this could be a possible double bottom. That's why I'm going to wait out this 5 minute right now. See, something told me to chill. I wanted to jump in so bad. Something told me wait for this to happen. Again, I might miss this dump before. I might miss it. I know that. But my trading style gives me disciplines that I must stay inside of. So I will do what I am supposed to do, which is not easy at all. Let's take a look here at the trading on these altcoins today and see what's happening on alts. The last hour, you see Monero still holding gains pretty nicely, but down 5% in the last week. My baby DEXE still getting it, and we talked about it, even gave it to the group. It's up 4%, 10% in a week. That's like this coin is bulletproof, man. It went from 350. I called it at 350. I started looking at it. I was like, because I looked at the whole market. The whole market was like in these downtrends, and DEXE was like making a lower high and starting to grind up. It crossed like the 1 hour 200, then the 4 hour 200. This was like a month and a half ago or something. And I said, I think the beginning of March. Yeah, 2 months ago now. And I said, man, this coin looks interesting. And lo and behold, it started to moon. And DEXE's been awesome ever since. And let's take a look at DEXE right now as we speak. It looks like I really should be aping into the short right now for Bitcoin. I mean, everything's setting up for the downtrend perfectly. Even like a bearish retest almost right there. Shoulder, head, shoulder. That looks like you're going to roll over and just get a continuation dump. I'm very stubborn on my discipline. I might miss most of the dump today by doing this. It's all right, man. You don't have to get it. I used to be like, you have to get every move, Sam. Everyone's always watching you. And yes, there's a lot of people watching, but I mean, to get every single move of your entire life, it's impossible. That's too much pressure, man. That's going to make your head explode. Making sure you're right most of the time, teaching as many people as you can, and showing up every single day is literally a task all in and of itself. Yeah. And thank you for the 1,354 likes. Shout out to the people here, and shout out to the winner of the TREZOR, man. God bless you, bro. I hope you put it to good use, and I hope it comes in handy for you. All right. I mean, this looks Bear City, folks. Maybe it comes up a little bit more, but that you have to admit that is smotheringly bearish. All right. I mean, look at it. And you can see just the liquidations are getting taken out. You just keep hitting liquidation. So people buy back in liquidation. And you just keep taking out these longs, these late longs. People that thought they had it, people that thought it was amazing, or they got in at 60K and they've been maybe, some people maybe got in at 60K and they just keep raising their stop loss into money. And now they're like, okay. So sometimes it's not even the worst when you're getting stop losses hit. It could be people that traded responsibly and they're just finally taking profits after, finally saying, hey, you know what? Maybe the lows are in. Or the lows aren't in yet. I'm going to take my profits where I'm at, right? Nice little bounce here. And again, the greatest thing about my trading style is say this thing rips all the way back up. Say this makes shoulder, head, right shoulder, or double bottoms. We get above the 200, we make a flag. I'll be able to take a long later on. My trading style keeps me so limber. Like, look, I already took this long up here. I did lose a second long there, but I took a long here for the beginning of the day. I'm already 2 trades in. My mind's limber. I'm ready. It's Monday. We're starting the trading week. We were here early bird style, getting it in. I gave you guys a morning update at 7:30 to show you guys what was going down. All right. Nice little double bottom here on Bitcoin. We do have a bullish div on my indicator too, which, nice little hidden, actually, and you can see it here. That swings up on the RSI, swings down on price action. That is a bullish divergence finally. See if the bulls could dig in here. And see how we're going to jump into late shorts. And look, I would have been wrecked. See? I learned you have to be even more disciplined than ever. So look, this might take another, and you can see, I like to hold shift, go sideways. It's an hour and 25 minutes before my next entry. And people think that the 1 minute is fast. It's actually slower maybe than you realize, right? And now you got some bull div here too, kind of digging in on the 5 minute time frame. Maybe you get a rep. Maybe you are back up at 77,000 like this never happened in a few hours. The way Bitcoin's been moving, you never know, folks. Go back up and short, back and forth. You see? Let's just take a little peek at gold and silver. Kurt asked for silver, and we'll take a look at some of those super chats that are coming on in. We'll get a look at the perp here on MEXC as well, if we'd like, or, Let's see if they got the perp. So many perps on everything. I just like to look at silver, the regular silver here by the ounce. So we were looking for a breakout. We got it. Silver ripped all the way to 89. Nasty rejection, right? When we got a little more skirmish there, it's like people were like, well. Also, the bond market threw off the bond market, and that threw off a lot of people. Started making people wondering what was happening to the bigger market. Kind of adjusted the price of gold and silver. But to me, at the end of the day, if they're going to continue to print money, which that's what I see, there's no way out. You have more people wanting to use the dollar than ever. All right. Interesting. The silver collapse here out of the flag. I mean, let's take a look at the daily. The daily is like at a point where you got to bounce. Let's get rid of all those lines. Why'd I have so many? I'm liking this trend line on the daily here, and it goes back pretty far. And then I'm using this as a trend line. If I connect that one, it's a little high. You could say it still works, but both of them, that's something that I've done in my past. Now, do you have to adjust the top one, or can you use these two? I think that works for me. You have to, I've done this enough to kind of figure out what works for me, but, kind of the similar thing for you, right? And then if you pull this Fibonacci here from this impulse to there, I mean, you're bouncing off of a 786. So that's money printer status there. And it's almost kind of, cup with the deep handle for silver. I'd like to see it hold this level, close today with the green. It closes today with a green. There's a chance you can front run that bounce back to the top of the edge, and then it goes sideways. I see us just going sideways, and it says somewhere by June, heavy money printing has to come in. Something's going to happen to the repo market, the banking system, and it looks like there's going to be an adjustment that's going to have to occur. Maybe the dollar loses too much value, and once you have a lot of dollars in circulation, all right? Then you need more dollars in circulation. Each time you have more dollars, you have to print more dollars because the dollar loses value each time, right? It stabilizes, yes, through GDP and through interest rates, but over time, the printing of the dollar is something you can't avoid. It just eventually wears away purchasing power. And eventually you have, and that's why, they know this, right? For a fact. So the elites know that in 10 years from now, it's going to be way worse. So what they're doing, they're already planning, right? Your car that's going to tell you when and when you can't drive, right? 4 years from now, everyone's going to have a self-driving car. They're going to limit to you, you're going to have to pay for extra miles. They're going to put you in a 15-minute city where everything you need is 15 minutes from you. And this is how they're trying to get you not to be upset. They're like, well, if we give them everything and we keep them kind of poised, then they won't need all the money that they thought they needed. And then we can keep them, they want to keep people just, right, docile as they continue these Georgia Guidestones, which is kind of crazy, but that's what I see happening. And I'll be subtle with that, but that's, and you can go as far as you want with that. Wow, looking real bearish here on the smaller time frame. So silver, could be a winner here as Bitcoin kind of offsets a little bit. People are looking to, where to go with a risk-off asset, and silver could kind of hold its own against BTC and then rally back up somewhere here to about $124. And that's in July. It could be a hot summer, very interesting times to be alive. And gold, similar idea for gold. I would see, if that's what silver looks like, I feel like gold would look almost identical. The key for gold is to hold that daily 200 moving average, right? To me, gold has to make a bigger decision a little quicker. It's in a tighter predicament there, tighter trend lines. Being a bigger asset, there's a little more pressure. Could it make a right shoulder there and dump? There's a chance. My instincts are, well, if they print money, how does gold go down? Like, you think it would hold value, and similar to silver, keep saying we're going to see some type of jump in July. And I'm not telling you, I don't know. I'm not saying that's a fact. It just, when you look at the bigger picture for gold and silver, starts to show you something interesting, right? Back to that S&P, and we'll delete my old work and just look at it. Fighting off the bearish tones today where everyone says it's going to be doomsday. There's a lot of bigger accounts that have called for doomsday out here. Again, if they have to print money to save this economy, to keep this... See, you have to understand, a company makes quilts, all right? And say they're a good company, they really make quilts. People like the quilts, and the quilts do well. And the quilts are $30 or $50 a quilt. And they're selling and they're making good profit. And they have to keep printing money. Like, it doesn't, the stock price of this quilt company, as long as they keep doing what they're doing, it's going to surge. If they keep printing the US dollar, right? And then on top of that, if people say, oh, investing looks good and more people invest than ever, you have more people jumping into the stock market than ever, like I told you before, because the internet is growing and you learn how to trade through the internet. Like I said, when I started, there was nobody doing this. This goes back to what we said at the beginning of the stream, right? But now there's so many different people teaching trading. And even my streams grow. Look, my stream is growing every single day, right? And so there's so many people teaching trading out here. And that gets you starting to think, okay, if so many people are teaching trading, more people are trading than ever. And that's growing the volume of trades. So, it's making it so more and more people are taking advantage of the market too. And, here's the 21, not that far from the daily. This kind of could reset, and my point is, if they continue to print money, which that's what I see happening on the board, I see this could stabilize the S&P. And again, it could make a right shoulder and dump. This may be a mass, but right now, you got to watch the daily time frame and even the weekly. Weekly's a little far from the 21. I'll give it to you. That tells me there's a cause for concern there. If that weekly closes bearish, you'd have to say we're going to come down at least, or maybe consolidate. But right now the daily looks okay. 3-day chart also is a little too far away for the 21, about to do a bearish close. So despite what the daily looks like, we do look like we could have a pullback. But it may not even be that bad either. It may meet us somewhere here at 71.97, and that's just a healthy pullback. Nothing crazy. See, everyone, if we had jumped around here, now we're just kind of sitting here waiting for this to play out. And again, I give this an hour. And again, people think the trading on the 1 minute is like, you're going crazy. Look, I'm sitting here for an hour on the I'm trading the 5 minute, and I'm going to sit for an hour. If I end up making $2,000 today, I mapped it out 2 hours before the trade. I sat patiently and waited. And as I told you, I might wait right here, and then it might just start to jump right before I get in. I might get in, and I might get stopped out in 2 seconds. I might lose 500 after honing in all day. That's okay. What I love is that I have a discipline that I can go after every day. That makes everything else in life feel better, because I have a discipline that I can go after every single day. So important. You see what I'm saying? That changes the entire game for me in many ways. Shout out to the beautiful people here on the stream. Thank you for jumping on in. May I get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So a lot of people are extra bearish on the S&P. To me, it does look like you may get a pullback, and I'd be pulling it from like this area here. And I'm looking somewhere at about 7,000, 7,150, and then the 21 will come into play here. This is definitely a possibility if we get the bigger pullback. But there's a chance we don't. There's so much action out here. People are going crazy. So look at this. We're defying the odds here now. And is this the bottom buy for Bitcoin? Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Take a look at the 1 hour. 15 is starting a possible tweezer bottom. You front run this with a stop loss below here. I've been doing it recently. It's played out a couple times. Look at those 50, that many red candles in the 50. That's crazy. That's crazy sauce. And now look, you clearly, this previous support and resistance is in play now. Bounce. So 76.6 is now resistance for Bitcoin. You did just break a trend line. And I'll be honest, I don't know what it is, but I've never been so, I think it's the coming of the summer and just, I don't know, but I've been never, I guess the trips too. I took the trip to Vegas and Miami. I'm back home, and I somehow pulled off all those wins out there, and then I got back home, and I'm just trading super calm home, because I'm back home, and I'm just in my element, and I'm just thinking, I've never been so calm recently, just waiting for the trades to come to me, knowing that things are going to go my way, just sitting with opportunity right there, and knowing I don't have to chase anything. And you know what? Price action may actually do the opposite, and there may be an opportunity the other way. staying super open-minded, staying limber, but still, sticking to the plan. Like, this looks like we should be able to take a short. And it won't take nothing for me to slightly adjust this short. It'll be very simple and easy. You see, if I want to if it ends up being something like this, I just click on this and the numbers are going to be pretty much the same. I can't reiterate how much you got to have a plan if you're going to be trading every day of your life. You got to have a plan. Must have a plan. Trade with a plan so you don't get, you don't get basically poked around by someone else's trading plan. It can get you going. It can be bad news over time, right? So the market makers are always going to be in your way over here, It is what it is. And if you like trading with a fast user experience, it gets you going. It gets you whipping and flipping. BTCC is I feel like when I'm trading BTCC, I just feel like there's this extra speed to it. But if you want to scalp here on BTCC on the small time frames over here, it is an applicable exchange. One of the 3 exchanges that I do use. We recently took this small. Remember, it was like $1,200 or $1,250 to $684. We'll see. I've traded very light on it, but we got one big trade. Let's see if we can continue to build this. Maybe $1,200 to $5,000, but very slow. Very slow. Only take like the most calculated trades. Like only trade the model. Like never short, only trade the model whenever on like a Tuesday and Wednesday. Like this is going to be a very conservative account. I trade very, it's like kind of like that idea too. Like limit the trading to a very specific time frames and very specific setups. Be very disciplined, systematically surgical, right? So if you're just jumping on in, we're waiting to see if this 5-minute bear flag will continue this barrage to the downside. That's what's called a continuation pattern. All right. And you're below the 200 with the, you got the bearish cross. You didn't even get a bull cross. Now you're below. And so, yeah, this looks like this could be what's happening. You dump, you consolidate, you continue to dump. Knowing how price action works and just not being overly aggressive. Right. All right. So I want to look at DEXE. I want to look at, we talked about some bigger time frame stuff. We gave you gold and silver as well. All right. So wow, we gave DEXE in the trading group, and it's actually up comparatively. So the rest of the market's slumping around. And again, one of the only coins that's been bullish is bullish again for us. Entry in at 12.93. It's sitting at 13.98, up $1. Not amazing, but that's about above 1/13 of the price action. Hey, that ain't bad, right? It's about a little like. Got to be like 6 or 7% or something because 20 is 5, right? So anyway, and I'm not saying it's amazing, but hey, this thing did break out of the tight price action and it looks like it may continue. So DEXE is breaking out. Watch out. Bitcoin could, fumble every bag. I've seen it, and maybe shoulder, head, maybe a bigger right shoulder here too. Like something we may have to watch out for. But this stop may stay intact throughout all this bigger move too. Something's going on with this coin. We put it out at 350 down here on March 5th and 6th on the channel. And ever since then, and then we put out a couple more longs there at 6. And this thing's been on a mission. And then I've given another long here now. So I've been tracking this coin very, very exclusively. And it's been playing out very nicely. Bitcoin, little pump back to 76,330, going after these late shorts. People that can't. Trust me, man, Monday is a day to eat you alive. Just be careful. Monday will chew you up and spit you out. You can see how tentatively, lightly I'm trading. I can't even believe I took the trades that I did. All right. Shout out to everybody here. Follow me at The Real Crypto Lifer on Insta. We're putting out so much awesome information every single day. Check it out. Can't wait to share even more with you guys here on Instagram. So, and I'm going to have an amazing summer. Follow me along. It won't be as, I'm usually more active. Hey, look at that oyster perpetual over there. But it's going to be an amazing summer. I just know it is. I'm going to have to be a little tender on my foot. The doctor said I can't run and jump until July. And then I recently gave myself a bit of an injury. I sprained my ankle on top of hurting myself, which is only me. Only I would do that. Right? While I was in Las Vegas, I did something very stupid. I'm not even going to admit it. Most of you already know. Let's see how well you people know me. What did I do in Las Vegas that I shouldn't have done? Let's see how well you people know me. Shout out to Crypto Billy, right? Shout out to everybody here on the live. So that is the live. So I have been on since last night. I thought I got a new... Thank you. Funny. That VVV, I researched it on the weekend. It's fire. It really is, man. I'm telling you. I closed my short hoping for a nice pullback and get in on another short. I like it. Who does hands? Oh my God. See, handstand, sandstand, a cartwheel, a kick flip, a back flip. Yeah, you did a handstand. So you people know me, yeah. I was running down. I did also, yeah, I also did run back to my hotel room and I forgot. I didn't, like, yeah, I kind of slipped. Yep, yep. Paid for a big dinner. Yeah, that hurt real bad. Yeah. Your reels are good. Thank you for saying. They really are, man. Yeah. Ran like an idiot. Thank you. Yeah. I did not drink. No. I don't, you can ask, I don't break my sobriety, man. You can ask my manager, I call my manager, I feel like, but you can ask my partner, Jamie, man, no matter where we go. And alcohol is, I got to the club. Right when I get there, I'm in this like little VIP spot. Dude hands me a shot. I don't want to ever be rude, so I just kind of turned a little bit. And when he wasn't looking, I just handed it to someone else. Hey, do you want a shot? Then I feel bad. I'm handing them a shot when I'm not taking it. I mean, they were going to take a shot anyway. Yeah, I know you walked like a maniac all day. I know. That's another thing too. Like, I get off my boot for the first time, and then I walk on my foot. Like, who does something like that? Like, that's insane. Cab left you when you walked. Yeah, the cab also left me, and I had to walk across the street after a long night, and I hit the curb, and it hurt. This one's hilarious. I have to be honest. Shout out to Ant BTC. You're funny. I can't even repeat it, man. It's like, back in the day, maybe, actually, I never did that, but, but I, see, I'm always good for a laugh, man. Even it's probably not right, though. He said you definitely were sober. See, yeah, Rave Song Records, man. Yep. What happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas. Yeah, it did. Yeah. Sam got into heavy lady boys back. I always think that's so funny that I think things are funny, man. I don't even care. Like, maybe I shouldn't, right? I mean, that's actually not funny. It's kind of strange, but to me, it's just funny, man. Like, when people say something, like, because you're being a class clown. Like, when you say in public, you wouldn't say, and you don't even think it's really funny, but when everyone's watching, you think things are stupidly funny. It's just me, man. When you're in school and you say, like, the dumbest thing in class, you know what I mean? Pause, what are we saying? That's what I'm saying, right? Gaines got your leg. Yeah, I dreamed of you telling me to be consistent even when I told you I felt like I couldn't do trading. Well, keep going till you're blue in the face, blue face. I love you, man. Never stop, brother. This is your kind of, everyone tries, trading is very difficult. Very hard. Very, very, very difficult. Not easy at all in any way, shape, or form, right? So, you took either a short or a long fall and hurt your tail. You're funny, man. Because I don't even know what he's saying yet. Let's take a look at what's happening here. So, will Bitcoin hit 54 or 100K for 554 views? So we see more people now think we're hitting 54,000. So you can see the overall idea is bearish. All right. The overall idea is bearish for BTC. And we've identified a couple good longs here. And look, we just got to wait it out for this 5 minute to give us what we're looking for. Either a beautiful move back to the upside on the 1 minute, which may be brewing, or a 5 minute bear flag. And it looks like we got to wait a little bit to get that. And I'll be honest, sometimes I wait to trade till Monday night. A lot of times I wait till Monday night. Right? Lifer was hanging from the rafters in the club. Yeah. Yeah, you see that. You've seen it. Trading is difficult. Trading was the most difficult thing for me, to the point where I was going to walk away 100 times. I walked away probably 20 different times. I'm never going to do this again. I left money in an account and just said no way. And then, I came back, dusted it off, and said, okay, I'm back at it again. It's just been one of those things. right? You know, it's been one of those things in life. It's the hardest thing ever, right? Yeah, no, I'm dealing with an Achilles tendon rupture that has been tough. It's been tough. But I've been babying my foot for the last few days, and it's been really helping out. So that's what's been really good about it. Yeah. This week was absolutely legendary, and it was, man. It was. The week, this week was good. Last week, I mean, it's just been an amazing week, for sure. Shout out to my lovely wife who's learning to trade by watching The Lifer. Shout out to Mr. Friend 186. Yeah, so the way I trade is I use the moving averages. And, you know, to teach your wife right now, like, look when they're tight. You identify a trend change, which is when this bigger time frame has a red candle next to a green one. Once that happens, then you look for a down, then a drop, and then if you come back up and you do another red candle next to a green one, but you're, you know, below it, you've now changed trend, right? So you had an uptrend here, and now if you take out this low, which you do here, you have to assume that, you know, higher, lower high, and then you come down. Once you see a lower trend forming, you can then use the smaller time frames when the moving averages are tight to get into shorts. If you see the moving averages, if you see the trend change on the daily here, like here we were down here, you had a low, you had a high, you made a higher low right there. Once this candle closed on the daily, you could start trading uptrends on the smaller time frame. And let me show you what that looked like. So what I teach you is how to identify trend. And like here, like, you know, when the moving averages were tight here above the 200, you get in. Tight, you get in. So when you once the trend looks good on the bigger time frames, use the smaller time frames to scalp, intraday scalp, and then you can use the 1 hour, the 4 hour to do a multi-day swing. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes I have swings going. I could have a swing going. A lot of times I have swings going while I'm intraday scalping. So like I'm scalping on the smaller time frames while I might have a swing, you know? Like if this 1 hour candle closes a green next to a red one, then there's a chance we're going to reverse. That may happen later today. We don't know. And so right now, and then what I do is I wait for consolidation. This pattern may do something like this. It may come up a little bit, come down, go sideways. The key is, too, to be touching the 21-day moving average. See, we just pumped away from the 21. We had to come back to it to get a continuation. Now we're above the 21, above the 200, touching the, I'm upside down, but this suggests that we're more likely to go further down. And so you start looking for these shorts, and then I set the same thing up on weeks. I add the same indicators on weeks. You go here to indicators on weeks. You type in MA. Okay, if you're new and you hit it twice, it's going to give you 2 moving averages. You're going to click up here. You're going to go to inputs. You're going to make this 200. And the smoothing one, you can make that 200 too as well. And the style, you want to make that yellow. Smaller time frames, it won't matter as much, but you know. Same here, inputs. See 21 and 21 with the style, make it white. And again, go to input. Where am I getting this? You go up here. And you see this will pop out. You hit the gear. You change this to 21 SMA. That's all going to be set. And then the style, I turn it white. So the 200 yellow, the white is the 21. And you use these in conjunction with each other. When you're below the 200 and the white line comes into play, you're looking for shorts. When you're above the 200 and the white line comes into play, you're looking for longs. This works the best Monday night into Thursday morning. Once the liquidity dries up, it can be very manipulative. You got to be careful. I'm going to teach you the best times to use the strategy, how and when. And this is kind of what I do. And if you want to trade with me, just show up every day. You'd be really surprised what happens between 10 and 12. There's a lot of price action. It's actually one of the funnest times. That's why I picked it to trade, you know. And then I watch the smaller time frames. Like now you're starting to make what's called an ascending triangle on the 1 minute. This could be how you dig out. People that don't realize how the smaller time frames turn into the bigger ones. It's just like Legos. When you build a Lego, you put a bunch of tiny pieces together. And next thing you know, you have this monster, you have a masterpiece of something you built, but it took like, right? Trading's the same way. Like price action gets built by smaller price action. You know, it's a really good example of how, you know, but price action is built by the Lego theory. Same idea, you know. And look on weeks, you can hit this button, you can make it nice and big. And you could trade, you could do all your charting here, just like I do charting on TradingView, nice and simple. And I highly suggest, I mean, even if you do your TradingView chart, always chart right here on the exchange you're trading on. So you can see your stop loss in conjunction with your TA. You see me, I do TA in both places a lot. At 21, you should bounce right here. You should get a pump here. Based off my years of doing this, the Stokes kind of want to cradle. You get a bounce here, and this bounces. It's kind of got some Adam and Eve vibes. Let me show you what I mean by an Adam and Eve. You got kind of a dagger here with a more rounded bottom. This is a double bottom, which could, really should end up somewhere up in this liquidity zone. There's a gap right here in the VRVP. You could see 76.5 coming. False move Monday. I can still dabble with this idea. It's like playing chess. I can dabble with this idea and still have the fact that this could be a bear flag. You know what I mean? And you know what happened today with the views and all that? I don't let any of this stuff get to me, folks. It's all neither here nor there. Every day is a new day. Every day is a day of opportunity. I just focus on what's in front of me and what we're doing together here. That's the best way to win. Any other way, anything else is just a distraction. Okay? That's powerful what you're saying there. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, Sam, thanks for helping me find the courage to short the market and be profitable. I was always too scared to do so until I followed your strategies and you helped me take the emotion out of it. Shorting is really difficult for a new trader. I don't know why. No 5-hour stream. No, I don't have it in me. Well, maybe, I always have it in me, but it's just not today. Opinions on the Clarity Act, if we're leaning towards approval or not. It doesn't really matter to me, because no matter what, I'm going to be here. And I'm going to trade right through it, regardless if they do it when they do it. Eventually, there's going to be some type of clarity. Because they want in on the money. And they want to take, it's like they want to fleece the public, right? They're going to put the laws that help them get, put everything into perspective. Someone asked for UNC. It looks okay, I guess. You're above the 200 on the 1 hour and starting to form some type of consolidation. It's very loose, though. I look for it. It's got to fill this flag out. To me, it's not amazing. It's got to fill the flag out, get tighter. Possibly something bigger can happen there. Open long and close it with 5 seconds. That trade, wait until tomorrow. How do you close a trade for 5 seconds and wait till tomorrow? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, let's take a look at the super chats. I know we had silver from my man Kurt. Vegas Claw, man, taking off in the magic carpet. Shout out to Vegas Claw. We love you. He's back in action, folks. We thought we had lost you. We didn't see you yesterday. Maybe you were here. I don't know, but you were definitely mentioned on the stream. What to say on the Life Reserve, and is it also type of bagel? Everything. You're funny, man. Shout out to John. Everything. Hey, thank you. He's like, I'm going to make a better joke. Yeah. Hit the like button, everyone. Shout out to Underground Cryptos, who continues to grind. YouTubers put so much more time into the channel than you realize. Just smash. Oh, it's so insane how much we put in. I dream about what I'm going to do on the show when I go to bed every night. I think about what I'm going to bring to the table the next day. Like when I get off the show all afternoon, I think about what I'm going to do on the next stream. Saw this playing in a Telegram channel, so here I am. Woo woo. That's so cool, man. I love that. Hey, Lifer, would you give me your thoughts on UNC? Yeah, this is it here. I'd like to see it consolidate a little tighter. If it does, there's a chance it does go higher. So you're telling me there's a chance? There's always a chance. There's always a chance. Why does it do that? All right, there we go. And Miss Cleo was the original. I don't know what that means. But shout out to Charlie Noble. We love you, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for jumping on in. Okay. 1 hour close tweezer. Oil about to round top. Maybe they're just messing with us today. You know what I mean? Look, there's Bitcoin doing damage out the 1 minute, off the 21 moving average when the stochastics are curving. I'm telling you, I use that sauce. Shoulder, bit of an inverted. It's kind of an inverted there. We call it the Batman inverted. Maybe I'm like 10K embedded live stream viewers. As a teaser way in my stream, I am in a long right now because I saw an M pattern on my flip chart. You're spot on, dude. I watch what you say a lot of the channel. You sound spot on, Golden God. I have to be honest. I would like to hang out with you. You seem like very intuitive. I get a very high-end intuition from you for whatever reason. I don't know who you are. I don't know if we've met. Maybe we have. We probably have. People tell me, hey, who I am. And you guys tell me your screen shares when I meet you in person, and I'm so sorry if I forget. Never think I'm being rude. It's got to the point where I've just met too many people now in my life. And, yeah, and I never mean to be rude, but it's just impossible. It's very impossible for me to track every person now that I meet and, like, properly categorize who they are every time. Yeah. Anyway, Birkenstocks. Shout out to my man Pat May. All right, the Golden God writes LOL. No, I mean, I don't know what's so funny, man. You just seem spot on, dude. Yeah. I'm just a dude playing another dude on the internet. I get you, but you're good at it. You're good at playing that dude, man. You're giving all. I can feel the vibes through the internet. Close my short, open along. Half of my profits good today. I like it. We got a chance over here. Bulls are back. You never know. You never know. But, you know, we seem to be bouncing a bit strong here on the orderly book, right? We broke out like we were supposed to off the 21-day moving average there. A bit of a pump-a-lump-ski. Pump-a-lump. Again, we still may make a bear flag later on, but see, I was smart not to chase. I wanted to. My emotions told me to chase the short. My logic told me not to. All right? If you want to trade where we trade, you want to sit where I sit, you want to be where I be, go to cryptolifer.com, hit the subscribe button, and you could join my trading group, man. I think it's unbelievable. And again, with all the AI and all the new stuff, I get it. But man, you want to track a real person, you want to hang out, you want to see what I did with my life to turn it into success. Not only is my trading group a place where you can learn how to trade, but it's a place you can learn your discipline. If you're lost, if you're having trouble staying consistent, I really think my group will give you that boot in the you know what to get you straightened out. You know, but seriously, it's like boot camp for the mind, man. And we'll get you squared away. So many people will be there to help you too. If you ever kind of feel down and out, we'll be there to talk you through it and to kind of get you on a new track. So, what am I, chopped liver? No, you're not. We love you. Shout out to Gators and Cars. Is that Gators and Cars? But Gears and Cars? No, you're not chopped liver. We love you. You're amazing. Yeah, happiness is having a large, loving, caring, close-knit family in another city. 100%. Okay, he took partials. I like it. Joe, and you will always learn. TP1-1. I mean, we're learning every day. And we're gaining awesome insight every single day. You know what I mean? It's been a blessing. Now we're getting, see, I just want to see this make a nice little bear flag and start to cook, baby. If we get that, then I'm going to be okay. Okay, baby, okay. You know what I mean? Looks like the plan is going to form. It's going to take its time, right? But you got to be ready for it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to position yourself properly, right? So I hope you had fun today. I showed you how to add the 21 and the 200. I talked a lot about how to use weeks and trade everything you need on weeks. You don't need to really leave weeks at all. It's got all the trading view features that you need. Just make it big, do your thing, and you're right here. Right? Look, I'll delete everything and show you how I do it. Right here, you go down, hit the box, remove the drawings. My name is Simon, and I like drawings. Remember that? Isn't that Saturday Night Live? Like, I bet someone just spit out their coffee right now. Like, you remember that? Like, I'm good enough. Or Stuart Smiley. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me. It's Pat. Remember, it's Pat. You couldn't do it's Pat nowadays, right? That would be too much. Right? Oh, don't go there. Don't go there, Sammy. It's Pat was ridiculous, though. Dude was so funny, man. The fictional character, Pat O'Neill Riley. He's an androgynous fictional character, right? He's androgynous, you know what I mean? It's Pat, dude. I don't know if you remember It's Pat. It's Pat was hilarious. Anyway, let's get back into the trades. So only and only if we cross the 1 minute 200 will Sammy get back into a long or even position himself in a long or think about longing. Until then, I'm still on the fence that this could turn into a bear flag of the 5 minute time frame. And I believe my trading style will help you avoid getting rocked and wrecked. And it will give you the, again, with the smallest amount. Your beginning trading is going to take some time. So you got to keep your capital. To keep your capital is to keep trading. You see what I mean? And to keep trading, have a system that won't lose you tons of money over time. And so that's kind of the key, is to have risk management. So after 100 trades, you can learn a lot and still have your money. You may not be up huge. You may be up a little bit. You may be down a little bit. But you have so many trades under your belt that you have something to go for, something to put on, right? Right? Wow, the Golden God says, I've been watching you almost from the start. Most of the time I don't chat. When I drink too much coffee, I get goofy in chat. But I've been here for years, Creep Watch. And I love you, man. Thank you. That's so cool. See, I always tell myself there's so much more here behind it, man. You know what I mean? There's so many more people on the stream than I ever realized. So here I am. This is my trading style. This is what I'm sticking to. That's why you got to watch the live stream to really see what I'm saying, because I explain it out in video form, which is better than anything else we could be doing. Anyway, God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching. Let me just double check that fan funding one more time. I don't want to leave anybody hanging like I did the other day, but everything looks completely correct here. Shout out to the fan funding. We appreciate that. Very nice of you. Shout out to all the people that came into the live today. God bless each and every one of you. And thank you so much for sharing your most precious asset, which is your time. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. That helps so much. So you can find out when I go live and help this channel continue to grow, man. Subscribe, baby. Don't forget to subscribe. And everyone, thank you so much. Thank you for whoever put this suit together. I think it was me, but I like it. So, hey, shout out to my wardrobe, which is me. But, hey, shout out to the people who ran the sound, which is me. Shout out to the people who ran the show today, which was me. But shout out to my team for the titling. I appreciate that. The titling was hot. Shout out to the awesome thumbnail. Sick. And shout out to everyone that just helps me show up every day, man, with just awesome ideas and just comes through. Everybody, I love you so much. Thank you for jumping on in. I will see you tomorrow for another amazing, awesome, just kick butt live stream. You guys made this today just one of the best days ever. So thank you. We can check it off the list and we can start again tomorrow. God bless. Thank you so much. The secret to success is just what I did to get this channel going. Just what I did to get my life going is getting started.